Hi guys, please like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bells so that you're made aware of all of our future videos and live streams. Today's video is going to be a bit of a channel update. When we started this channel, we obviously put in the description that we was basically a channel that did all things nerdy, which was obviously going to include movies, TV, gaming, you know, comic books, etc., all that sort of nerdy goodness. The problem is obviously because of our current situation, there are no new movies coming out. There's very little new TV. So obviously the channel has took on more of a gaming side of things at the moment. Don't get me wrong, we do intend to keep gaming kind of at the forefront, but we also want to cover TV and movies as well. Now the thing is, some TV programs are starting to get going again. We do know that we have got Star Trek Discovery coming back, and we're going to do an episode each week and cover that. Obviously, you probably know if you've watched previous videos my thoughts on Star Trek Discovery, so it'll be interesting to see if them thoughts change. We do also have The Mandalorian coming as well, season 2. Obviously when we started our channel, season 1 was already out, so we do plan on doing an episode each week covering that episode, because obviously it's released on a weekly basis, same as Star Trek Discovery, even though they're on streaming platforms, which is good because we can do a video on that each week. And as of last night, I believe, Walking Dead came back. We obviously had the finale, and there will be a video covering that. That was another thing we wanted to cover, was The Walking Dead, but obviously The Walking Dead stopped because of our current situation. So we know it's back, it's the finale, and we do also know now that they are only going to do one more series and then they're axing it. Now, if I'm honest, I've watched this from the start. I haven't missed an episode. And even I think it's time to call it a day. So it's a good choice, I think, that they end it at the end of this series. So yeah, obviously we got the finale. We are going to have a wait until the next series comes back, but at least we'll have something to cover each week, which is good. Now movies is another thing entirely, because as a lot of you probably are already aware, a lot of the cinema companies are now going down the pan because of this. Cineworld has just been clobbered, and you could argue that they haven't treated their staff too well either, from the stories that I've been reading. I mean, they even had the cheek to ask them to buy the pick and mix. I mean, unbelievable. You're fired, but can you also buy the pick and mix before it goes out of date? Unbelievable. I had to get that dig in there, because that's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, somebody finds out by a newspaper that they've lost their job, and they're asked to buy the pick and mix before they go. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm not going off on a tangent here. Obviously, like I say, because of things like this, and obviously the fact that movie studios are putting their movies back, which is what's causing places like Cineworld to go down the pan, because obviously they've got no new movies to show, and that's where their money comes from. Then there's the fact that they're limited to how many people they can actually have in each showing, which is about a quarter of normal. So it's not viable. Cineworld in particular are actually blaming the new James Bond film because it's been put back till April next year. So that's especially what's caused their problems, they're saying. So yeah, like I say, you know, they're all pretty much all pushed back till next year. And it's not looking like this situation's going away anytime soon, so they could get pushed back further. And, you know, for a channel that concentrates on TV, movies, gaming, it's a bit of a problem when there aren't any new movies, there's very few new programs. So, like I say, we're at the moment, we've been concentrating a lot on gaming. And gaming is going to pretty much be at the forefront, but I do like to do a bit of everything, and so does Connor, you know. And obviously, once this situation's over and done with, Kyle will be more involved as well, my oldest son, because he doesn't live with me. Basically, the issue I've got here is my wife is classed as vulnerable. Now, she has gone back to work. She went back to work as of August. But it's not been easy because she works in retail, so that's a nightmare in itself, because how do you keep away from people when you work in a retail environment? It's not easy. And obviously, I've got to be extra careful. My youngest son, who's obviously back at school, he's got to be extra careful. And, you know, the rules with not mixing with other households and all that are making things really difficult, because obviously my eldest son lives with his mum, my ex. So it's not possible to have him at the moment. We did have him for a little bit in the summer, but that was only because at the time you was allowed to do that. And what we did was we got him to have a COVID test before he came over, so we knew he wasn't putting her at risk. So it was okay for that week, but it's a problem going forwards. I've only seen him probably 3 times since March, which, as you can imagine, being his dad isn't easy. You know, I want to see my other son, but at the moment it's just not possible. I can't put my wife at risk. So it's annoying. It does upset me. It bothers me a lot. Worries me about Christmas, because, you know, we're not far away. Don't know what we're going to do there. So, yeah, so that's why he hasn't been involved in the channel much, because obviously it's just not possible. Like I said on previous videos, we have got a couple of projects in the works. And like I said in my last video, we are going to do a video on each of them. And they are getting fairly close. Like I said, Christmas and birthdays might trip things up a little bit, but we are getting pretty close. I think one of them, at least one of them, will be complete, I think, before Christmas. So, yeah, fingers crossed. So, yeah, like I say, it's all, everything's really up in the air, isn't it? I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Like, an enemy that you can't even see is causing all this mayhem. And it is, you know, everything has changed. The way you live your lives is totally different now. And it's probably going to be like this for quite some time. It's something we're going to have to get used to. And, yeah, it really is a pain in the backside, isn't it? To be honest. I constantly worry all the time about my wife. Like, it is a worry, because she's out there, and, you know, if I get it, and if I'm honest, I actually think I did have this back in February. Don't know for sure, but I do know I was really ill. And of course, back then we didn't know it was a thing. So I do actually think I've already had it. But if I haven't, then, you know, and I don't know this for sure, so I have to be very careful. So we all have to be very careful around her. And like I say, it causes problems with seeing my son. You know, I used to have him every weekend. Now I've seen him 3 times in the last, 7 months. So, you know, it's really is a life changer at the moment. So, and like I say, things that we always took for granted, you know, going to the cinema, things like that, it's all changed. I do think that things are going to change on a large scale when it comes to cinema and movies now, because obviously, because of our situation, a lot of it's been, I say a lot of it, some of it was released straight to streaming. And I didn't actually think that was a bad way to go. Don't get me wrong, you know, I've been going to cinemas ever since I was a kid, and it's always been something I've enjoyed doing. But you can't argue that when you sit in a cinema, the seats are uncomfortable, unless you pay the earth. The seats are uncomfortable. You know, you get up and you feel about 90 years old because you've been stuck in this position for a couple of hours and the chair's not comfortable. And you've paid quite a bit to do that. And admittedly, you know, there is a bit of, well, it does make life easier, I suppose, if you could just stream the movie I mean, I'll be honest, I probably would pay the same price as a cinema just to watch it at home because my sofa's more comfortable. I can get up and use the toilet when I want. I can make a coffee when I want. So you can pause it. You haven't got that option in a cinema. So I've got to admit, it is going to make life probably a bit more convenient if they do go down this route. And with the way things are, I think it is going to go that way because cinema companies are not going to be able to keep going much longer. They're struggling now, and we're looking at another 6 months before a big blockbuster is going to come out, and that's if it comes out. So yeah, things have really changed. So yeah, like I say, we have got a couple of new programs to review on a weekly basis. And Connor did just get into Walking Dead in the last series. I wouldn't let him watch it before then because, I think it would have given him nightmares, obviously. But we let him watch some of the last series and he really enjoyed it. So that'll be something that me and him can do together. I think he'll enjoy reviewing that. So Star Trek Discovery, not so much. He's not a Star Trek fan, and no matter how much I've tried, he's not interested. Admittedly, I'm not a massive Star Trek Discovery fan because I'll be honest, I think it's garbage. But we'll see how this new series goes, because if you know anything about Discovery, in this one, one of the problems that's always been with this series is that no one could understand why you'd never heard of Discovery if it was around at the same time as the Enterprise. Well, they fixed this problem because at the end of the last series, they were going into the future. So it could work. This new series could work because you're now putting it into the future, and things aren't written in this time frame. So you can pretty much do what you want at that point and not damage anything else. Whereas what they have been doing with the previous series, I think, has been damaging the originals and that. They really have messed things up quite a bit. So, we'll see how it goes. And like I said, we'll cover each episode. As for The Mandalorian, you've got my thoughts on the first series. We did do an overview of the series. Brilliant TV show. In terms of Star Wars, I actually think that other than Rogue One, I actually think this is the only good thing that's come out of Disney Star Wars. Because, let's be honest, my views on the sequel trilogy, it's garbage. And it should be stuck in a dumpster and set on fire. It should. So, this is something that's quite promising. And of course, this is because Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are involved. And these are big Star Wars fans. Dave Filoni got a lot of his inspiration and learnt the works from George Lucas. Jon Favreau has just been a fan since he was a kid. And we know he's good at movies because he's been doing it for a while. Alright, this is a TV series, but when you watch it, it's movie quality. This is what the movie should have been. And just in case you're wondering who this is behind me, this is Mike Shed. If you haven't checked out his channel, have a look. He's a lot like our channel. He covers movies. He covers music as well. He's in this one particularly, he's talking about music and movies. And he actually mentioned Star Wars in this, which is why I put him on in the background. So I knew I'd be discussing it. He's got the same view as me, actually. He thinks The Mandalorian's great and that the sequel trilogy was garbage. So, we've got something in common. And it is great to watch. It is called Mike's Shed. There's a reason for that, because it is Mike in a shed. So... And it's just good to watch. It's no bells and whistles. It's just entertaining, It'll tell you what he's been doing. Like in this one particular, he'll tell you, that he went shopping to get something and then he ended up buying these other things, and then he shows you what he got. And, eventually, like I say, it ends up on Star Wars. But, yeah, it's good to watch. I'll link his channel in the description below. I've been chatting to him on some of his videos, and he's a good guy. So, yeah, check him out. So yeah, anyway, like I say, this was our channel update video. And just before I end it there, other than the two projects I've got going, I am actually waiting for something to come through as well. I've pre-ordered something which I think will be quite interesting for the channel. Unfortunately, basically this product is already out on the market, but I had to be clever and... order a new colour that they've released. And it seems to be that the one that I've ordered seems to be one of the last ones that they're releasing. So a lot of people have already reviewed this particular item, but they haven't reviewed the version I've ordered. Mine will look different. So I'm waiting for it to come through, and I'm chomping at the bit because I bought this a while back, and you know, I keep asking them like, when's it coming, and it's like, you know, we're on a annual holiday, it's not quite ready yet, you know, we'll let you know. And it's really annoying because I really want to review it, and I think you guys will really like this as well. So yeah, I'm really waiting to do this. So but when it comes through, that will be something. I don't want to let on what it is. I want to keep it a surprise because I think a lot of people will probably be quite interested in it. Like I say, it is something that is already out, but the version I've got is, like I say, cosmetically it looks different, totally different. So yeah, it'll be something a little different when it does come through. I'll be reviewing it as the new colour, if you like. So yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much, I think, covered everything. Just wanted to do a video just to let people know that, you know, what was happening, because like I say, we are all in uncertain times at the moment, and you know, you've got to roll with the punches. And like I say, our intention right from the start was to cover all things nerdy, which is what we plan to do. But because of our current situation, you know, you have to do what you can, and you know, so that's what we're doing. I hope you've enjoyed the channel, guys, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. I mean, I notice you're watching. One of the things that I've noticed that people watch the most are our pickups videos, which is a bit of a shame because obviously Christmas is coming up and I'm having to scale the pickups back a little bit because of money. So obviously our views are going to probably fall off a little bit, but we've got some new TV programs to look at, so I'm hoping that we're going to have a few more views of that. So I noticed when I did our end of Scorpion season 4 that quite a few people watched that, probably because they were all astonished like I was at how that series ended. But you know, but it's good to have a mixture, you know, everybody can get involved in this, and this is what we want. So yeah, so like I said at the beginning, please like, share and subscribe, and also comment, because I love talking to you guys. It's nice to know what's going on at your end and what your thoughts are. And it's just nice to know that people are watching and taking an interest as well. It's always good to get that little bit of feedback, you know. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss our future videos and live streams. And there is going to be a mixture of stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks. So make sure you do that so you don't miss anything. And until next time, take care, guys. Stay safe. And I do mean stay safe, because obviously this thing's going up at the moment. You know, be careful out there, yeah? And until next time, Nerdy Geezer out.